Today, we're going to be talking about meal planning and how it has helped my family cut our food budget in half. Hi, I'm Kumiko from The Budget Mom. Come along with me as I strive to live a life I love on a budget that I can afford. Welcome to the Budget Mom YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about my meal planning process. So I'm going to give you a detailed look inside what my meal planning binder really looks like, how I discover and pick out my recipes, and how I organize my food budget into a weekly meal plan, and how I kind of come up with my grocery or shopping list. And so one of the things that I quickly realized when I started my financial journey and really started tracking my spending is that I was spending close to about $800 a month on food costs. Now this included eating out, carelessly spending things at the grocery store on things that I really didn't need, and it was a real big eye-opener for me and for my budget. So I decided to tackle meal planning head on. And I've been meal planning for about the last year, and of course I'm still working out some things in my meal plan, but I wanted to show you how I was able to cut my grocery budget from that $800 down to $400, all by creating meal plans and creating a plan for my food. Today I want to give you guys an inside look on what this process looks like, how I do it here at home. So let me show you what my meal plan looks like. I try sharing my story to remind leaders that there is a way out, that with hard work, dedication, determination, motivation, it's all about having a plan for your money, and that's what gives you the true control. Holy crap, it just changed my life. You're like, oh man, Nico, it takes time, it takes dedication, it takes work, but no more credit card debt. So this is my meal planning binder. It just looks like this. It's how I organize all of my different recipes or my different meal plans. I do have a clear plastic pouch that kind of just holds all my different pens. I use these Energel liquid gel pens for my meal plan. But essentially, how I organize my meal plan is I organize it into months. And since I'm a weekly meal planner, I do have a monthly meal planner layout. It's just an overall look at all of my different meal plans for the entire month. But I showed yesterday on my Instagram, the first thing I do every single month is I take inventory of what I have in my pantry, in my fridge, and my freezer. And if you're wondering about this process, I put a link to the YouTube video in the description of this video to show you that process. But that's the first step. But here is my weekly meal plan layout, and I do a different color for every day. That way I know it's kind of just an easy reference on which recipes I'm doing throughout the week. But essentially I have my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinners. And so after finding my recipes online, and I find most of my recipes over on Pinterest, so let me show you the process on how I pick out my recipes. So I find most of my recipes on Pinterest for my meal plan. So I wanted to kind of show you the things that I look for when I'm picking out a recipe. I'm an Instapot user, and it's actually saved me a ton of time in the kitchen. And so the first thing that I do is I usually start up here on the search bar and I pick out Instapot recipes. Now, because I base a lot of the recipes that I choose off of ingredients that I have here at home, sometimes I might type in that ingredient. So maybe I have some chicken breast here at home, and that's how I pick out or start my search for my recipes. One of the things that I look for, so if I am looking for an Instapot chicken recipe, there are two main things that I'm looking for. So let me go down and try to find something, a recipe that I might use within my meal plan. So this Mexican shredded chicken, if I click on this, the first thing that I do when I click into the actual recipe is I look for two different things. I look for the total time to make it, as well as the serving size. So I have a very busy schedule. I'm a full-time working mom. I own my own business, and I need to make sure that I have, time to make dinner for my son. And so 30 minutes is usually around the total time that I like to find my recipes. That total time, so not the cook time, not the prep time, but the total time of the recipe, I like to be about 30 minutes. I also look at the serving size. I like to pick out recipes that have a serving size of 4 or more. And the reason that I do that is because I know that by picking a recipe that has more than 4 servings, it's going to allow me to have leftovers for my family during the week. So that allows me to pick out 2 days out of the week for leftovers. It really does help with me not having to cook as often. And so those are the 2 main things that I look for when I'm picking out a recipe on Pinterest. Now, like I said, Pinterest is usually my number 1 go-to when I'm picking out and printing out recipes for my meal plan. I do have one more site that I go to fairly often. It's called Once a Month Meals. So it's once a month meals. It has to do with freezer cooking. They actually have some amazing recipes for the Instapot. And if you would like, you can go up here to the search bar and just type in Instapot. It gives you something pretty amazing. So usually it's 4 or more servings. It gives you a freeze for later option. You can make it from frozen, or you can choose to make it now. Now, depending on how much time I have on Sundays to meal prep for my dinners for the upcoming week, I might do a batch of these recipes and put it in the freezer. So all I have to do is literally just stick it into the Instapot during the week and it's done. I don't have to worry about making the actual meal. I literally just throw it into the Instapot. So this is a great resource if you're into freezer cooking or wanting that option. It's called onceamonthmeals.com, and you just click on the recipe menu up at the top. So after finding my recipes online, I print those out, and those are right here. So as you can see, I have check marks on the right of each ingredient and a check mark on the left of each ingredient. So that's me organizing and telling myself, if there's a check mark on the right, I have it at home. If there's a check mark on the left, it's something that I need to buy for my meal plan recipes. Just a great way to organize what I need to buy versus what I have. So for each recipe, I go through the ingredients and I decide what do I have on hand and what do I need to buy. Once that's all figured out, I create what I call a grocery plan. And with this grocery plan, it's simply all the recipes of my meal plan and the ingredients that I need to buy for these recipes or this week's meal plan. From there, I combine the like ingredients. So maybe I need an onion for this recipe and an onion for this recipe. That means I need 2 onions, and I convert that to a shopping list. Now my shopping list is organized by different areas of the store. It just makes it easier for me when I go to the store and buy my ingredients for my meal plan. But after I figure out which ingredients I need to buy for each one of the recipes, I combine the like ingredients and I convert it to this shopping list. Now, as you can see, I have some ingredients that are highlighted in yellow. This just lets me know I get most of my groceries at Walmart. It's really close to here at home, and plus it allows me to kind of price compare before I go. I just hop on to Walmart's grocery pickup and I look at the price of what these things are going to cost. I like to know about how much I'm going to be spending to make sure I'm still within budget. But the ones that are in yellow are the things that I'm gonna buy in bulk at Costco. And so it's just a way for me to separate where I'm buying what. So I would go to 2 different stores for this meal plan and pick up these different ingredients. The steps that I take to create my meal plan, in the beginning and only once a month, I take inventory of what I have. I then hop online and I pick out which recipes I want to use and I print those off. I also label each recipe with the day that I'm going to be making them. And from there, I figure out what ingredients do I have at home, what do I need to buy, and I create my grocery plan. From all the different ingredients that I need from each recipe, I then combine the like ingredients and I create my grocery list. Now there are some things on my grocery list that are outside of my meal plan, like I need copy paper, shampoo and conditioner. So it does include other items as well. But this is my grocery list as well for my meal plan. So that's essentially my meal planning binder. I'm a weekly meal planner, and so I do print off blank pages. So this will be for the second week of January, and I'll do the same process. But by creating this plan and creating and picking out my recipes and having a plan for my food purchases, it has saved me a ton of money. And this is essentially the meal planning process that I've come up with, and it's what I use every single week to stay on top of my food budget. If you have any questions, head over to TBM Family, my private Facebook group, and I'm happy to answer any questions over there. If you found this video helpful, please share it, and don't forget to subscribe.